stream. We'll be doing Yose and tsumeshogi problems. Let me load up the first problem. I will start out with tsumeshogi. Okay, there we go. How is everyone doing today? Well, if you're new to the stream, please make sure that you send PMs to me rather than putting your answer directly in chat. That way you won't ruin it for the other viewers. Thank you. Also, please refrain from drawing arrows. Hey, hi. Good to see you. Well, I hope so. Okay, and when you're sending me the answer, you can just send me the last 3 moves of the problem. Either way, it doesn't matter. Hey, for those of you who just joined us, if you wish to try solving the problems, please send me a direct message or private message rather than just directly writing it in the chat. Thank you. And if you happen to be on 81 Dojo, please refrain from drawing arrows. Yep, that's correct. Okay, for this problem, there's two tactical shots, two successive tactical shots. Okay, I'll first start by showing a variation that doesn't work. We can see that the rook is being blocked by the bishop right now. So we want to try and clear this path. One way that won't work is to take this immediately. Let me mute this. Because after you take here, if this, then the king attacks the rook. And if here, the king comes up this way, and there's no way to continue. See, if you do something like that, you can just escape. Also, a move like this, he'll just run up the board. So taking the silver this way doesn't work. Another move that looks kind of tempting is to promote this pawn here. The reason being, maybe you're looking at a variation like, I don't know, like this. But then he blocks this way. And no mate. But here, then there would be. So after this, maybe here, promote. And if he blocks like this, then there's mate this way. So let's say he does something like this. Then there's mate that way. So that means that he can't take the token. He would maybe have to do, I don't know, like this. And if he promotes this way, I guess he can do this and then attack the rook. Yeah, so this pawn promotion doesn't work. with best defense. Okay, so I'll give you the first move. It's this check here. Now if the king takes the pawn, there'll be a mate that way. If the king moves up here, then there's a mate like that. If king takes, then there's this check. A mate like that. Also mate this way. So that means that the only way to continue is to take with the silver. And then comes the next tactical shot. Can you find it? Okay, hopefully you remember this, the power of the rook that's being blocked by the jamagoma, which is the bishop. So we want to clear it like this. So if the king takes here, then you simply grab here and mate. If grabs here, then there's mate this way. So that leaves this. And then we see the next part of the problem, which is this being a jamagoma. If it weren't there, then there'd be an easy mate with a silver drop. So we get rid of the pawn and then mate. Okay, let's look at that one more time. And mate. Good. Let's go on to the next problem. This is a Yose problem. The opponent just moved his horse up to the 3-3 square. Yes, that's correct. That means that there's no immediate mate. But then maybe you can set up a threat mate, an irresistible threat mate. To get the most out of these problems, you should also figure out what's going on around your own king. You can say that about all these Yose problems that I'm presenting. So you can see that black's king is pretty safe. Maybe if he had enough time, he could do a move like this, or maybe something like this, or something like that. But these are pretty slow moves. It's going to take 1 and 2 to be a threat mate, and then 3 would be the actual mate. So there seems to be 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I mean, even this wouldn't be threat mate. So he has two moves of breathing space. So this horse defends these squares very well. There's a saying that a promoted bishop is worth 3 generals, but that's a huge exaggeration. A lot of times these proverbs use hyperbole in order to make a point. So rather than have the promoted bishop like stranded somewhere, maybe in the opponent's camp, sometimes it's better to withdraw it into your own camp in order to provide defense. So that's pretty much the idea behind that proverb. But it certainly isn't worth three generals, literally. Okay, let's look at a move that doesn't work. One of the very natural things that we see are these 2 pieces converging on that square. So you might be tempted to, let's say, do a move like this. But then he doesn't need to capture this way. He's just going to move up. After here, king is safe. Also, maybe he still comes up this way. So we have to find something else. And because black's king is safe, another way we might be swayed is we might be thinking, well, what happens if we can maybe get this promoted rook into play? Well, that's way too slow. If he grabs like this, notice that the token ends up blocking this dragon. So that means white has time to just remove this very, very important attacking piece. And even if he continues by taking the gold and hoping for, let's say, something like this, but on the other hand, you can still block it. White threatens just to play this 5/8 token next. Black doesn't have enough attack in order to counter this move. So what else is there? I'll give you about another minute, and then I'll show the answer. Yeah, that is correct. Oh, Shukwan, can you make sure that you send me PMs rather than type your guesses in the chat? Thank you. No, that's taking the knight would be way too slow. You can grab like this. And then threaten this next. Okay, so the answer is that we have to defend this vital attacking piece, and we can do that by dropping the bishop here. It's an undefended square, but it's actually defended tactically because of this obvious move. And we can also see that the bishop attacks as a concealed attack against his rook. So that means if he does something like this, then we do this. Check, and then maybe he can just grab the rook. He might even take the gold first, but either way the rook drops. Okay, let's take a look at that again. Okay, so here, threatening mate this way or this way. Also attacking the rook and defending the important knight. So this wins. Okay, we can go on to the next problem. Okay. Like the previous tsumeshogi problem that we did, there's two tactical shots, one after the other. Nope, Destiny, that isn't correct. Yeah, it's not Shuquan, that's also not correct. You actually put the same thing as Destiny. Almost the same thing as Destiny. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, let me quickly show what doesn't work. This check here. Now, if the king takes, there's easy mate this way. So that means, oh, also this mates. Notice that the silver stops the king from going up to 4-3. That means that the rook has to take. Now, a couple of viewers suggested this because of this, but he doesn't need to take the knight. He can go here. And this rook defends the 4-2 square, so if this, then unlike the other variation, the king can escape the 4-3. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So this move here is actually correct, but not 3-3 knight. So the next move is this. Now, if he defends with some type of drop, there's going to be easy mate like that. So instead he takes here. And then now we can see the typical theme of now that this 4-3 square is blocked, knight at the head of the rook. If the king runs here, then right here. I have king here, then this. And mate this way. Okay, so taking over squares, blocking 4-3, and then this final shot. Good, let's move on to the next problem. 4. Both sides have pretty solid kings, but black has a very active bishop compared to this, his counterpart here. So it doesn't look like white has an immediate attack. Maybe he can consider stuff like this, but it looks a bit slow. That means that black has time to attack. Yeah, these attacking pieces are a lot better placed than white's. Yeah, this is white's best attacker, most aggressive attacker, followed by this. So all that means is that black has time to attack. So how do we favorably use the positions of the two very active major pieces? Yep, that's correct. Okay. So the move is knight h4. Well, the idea behind this is to disrupt the positions of his gold. Because the silver is pinned, if the golden moves, let's say, like here, then see, silver's pinned. And if the gold comes up here, then you can just grab like that, and then, I don't know, maybe just do that. Gold is pinned. So if pawn takes, then it follows up by this. And then this time the gold has to move, after which the gold is no longer defended. Again, there's this pin. An attempt that wouldn't work is this. It's an interesting idea because maybe you're threatening something like this or like this. But you have to be careful about this move. Check. There's a counterattack. Also, this threatening this is way too slow. So the correct move is to hit the vital point. And if here, then you can actually just grab the gold this way. Since the silver is pinned, if this, then this. So he also threatens to take here. Let's look at one last defensive try for white. This is Nebari. Threatening this. And if he moves here, then you can just continue on with your attack like that. Yeah. Okay, good. Can move on to the next problem. It's over 9,000. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Welcome to the stream, by the way. If you've just joined us, please make sure to send your answers through PM rather than directly in the chat. Thank you. Okay, so we want to drive the king on this long diagonal. If we do an obvious move like this, there's not going to be enough to mate the king. Yep, that's correct. So we first do this. If the gold takes, there's easy mate this way. Or if the king runs here, then the gold gets dropped on 4-1. That leaves this, getting us to our desired position. So right now the pawn is blocking the bishop's diagonal. So next we'd clear it with a sacrifice. This is a double check. Check, check. And if the king runs up, then this will lead to mate. And since it's a double check, that means that he has to take it this way. So the next move is this bishop drop. If the gold takes, then there's mate here. And if he takes this way, then there's mate like this. Okay. Yeah, this one is pretty straightforward. And move on to the next problem. Destiny, what happens if he takes the gold, 7-8 gold? Then what? Okay, let's look at this move. Looks like it attacked. Whoops. Looks like it attacks and defends at the same time. Then he takes this way. Grabs this, then check. Black's gonna get mated. If here, then you just take the guy here. And this is gonna be an easy mate. Like that. If he grabs this, I believe there's this, which is lagging. Followed by that and this. So this doesn't work. Yep, that's much better. Okay. So the move is this bishop drop here. This is a threat mate. This way. So let me show you, just pass a move just to show the threat. Uh, the threat mate that way. And if he grabs like this, this time the bishop can promote. So, but then we have to continue on the line and see what happens if he promotes a pawn here. Then what? It's important to have this thing calculated out. Yeah, hope you didn't stop calculating after this. Okay. So what do you do now? Give up? Now follows a lengthy mate, but very simple to calculate. Do this. If pawn takes, then we end up in a similar line to before. So here, and we just clear off this defensive gold. That. And then now we just get rid of the pawn and promote this guy up. Yeah. So long but really simple to calculate. Okay, let's look at that again. So here, making sure that the bishop can promote. Also threatening mate this way. There's still threat mate, so here. And mate. Good. Okay, we can move on to our final problem of today. This one is pretty thematic with breaking down the anaguma. Black's king is pretty safe. Even though it's an anaguma, because of the active attacking pieces, it isn't as solid as it might first look. So remember, when you're looking at castles, you can't only look at the pieces that make up the castle, you also have to look at what's attacking them. So in this case, White's castle is very brittle. Yeah, it is. That's kind of slow. This is slow. That is a threat, but slow. Yeah, that's correct. Just to continue that line from before, uh, this gives White the opportunity to get his pieces into play. Lag, come on. So it looks like, what, does he have to retreat the dragon? Oh no, he doesn't. Notice now White's king is solid enough, so he can do this. Yeah, this is not. Jeez, I'm lagging. Come on, come on. like that. Okay, another variation that doesn't work is this. Looks like it can forcibly make a token threatening here, but this is also pretty slow, and it gives white a knight in hand. So he's going to end up winning the semi. Hey, hi, Conrad Bulb. And you know the sign too. Are you someone I know that's using a different handle? Hmm. Yeah. You want to PM me to let me know who you are? Okay. Oh, KGS or yeah. And then there's going to be a mate like this. If he grabs here, there's a nice light move making use of this gold here. So you do not want to do this, because then there's not going to be enough to mate. 6-7 gold drop is a heavy move. You want to use each piece to its maximum. So hopefully you'll find this. And then that also clears the way for this promoted bishop. And then there's going to be a mate like that. If the king goes here, and there's mate this way. So the correct move is this knight drop here. This is a tsume, and it hitting at the weak point of the opponent's castle. The idea being, if here, then we have this other very common Anaguma breaking tsume. If the knight takes, then there's mate this way. Geez, I'm lagging. And if silver takes, then this gold drops. Yeah, no way to defend this square. Okay, so if he can't take the knight, I guess he can also try to go into tsumeshogi this way. But then the king is defended enough. There's these 2 golds and also this bishop. A very simple move, threatening mate. Yeah, this is fast. Yeah, this still defended. If he does a move like this, I guess he can just block. Yeah, this bishop does a very wonderful defense, attack and defense. Does he have some kind of shenanigans like this? I don't believe he has enough. King's gonna run here. I guess he can also do this. It's also pretty solid. In any case, there's this. And now I guess he can just do like this. Just pile up. No need to take this guy. Yeah, okay. Alright. So this Kyusho no Tetsuji. Yeah. Anaguma Kusushi. Okay. Well, that's it for today. I want to thank all the viewers for joining me and those who participated in both chat and trying to solve the problems. If you enjoyed the stream, please consider supporting it with donations. You can do that by clicking on the blue Pac-Man and donating through streamlabs.com. The blue Pac-Man will give you a link. All right, thank you for joining me today. I will see you guys later. Take care. Bye.